We reached train. You picked Virtus.pro to win. We all picked FaZe to win. So are you confident?
I'd have to see
Did
that
you
last
expect them
map,
to do it in
no.
2?
Oof, I mean, Train, VP likes to play Train, and I know FaZe, they used to ban that map all the time, but now since adding Cold Zero, they seem to let it float now. And we watched them, I think, last week on Monday, and they look pretty good on Train, so
They have great players for it. They have really
yeah,
good players for
I'm
Train.
scared. I'm scared. Not as confident as I was, but I'm going to still stick with VP.
VP have that volatility to their play. I think we saw that on Mirage. That CT side, they like to take a lot of risks, and if the risks don't work out, then you can get really far behind, especially against a team like FaZe. They're gonna take those advantages as they come to them, and they're gonna run pretty far with them. So hopefully for VP, they don't have a similar issue on their CT side, because from what we saw there, they need those rounds. Like on Train is similar. It's another map where you need to have a pretty strong CT side. If you don't, it's a pretty CT side of the map generally. Probably gonna indicate you're gonna lose the game. So hopefully they can do better.
I mean, I do think that FaZe's slow playstyle won't work as well on Mirage, as in because people, you know, on CT side you can still kind of watch the bomb sides by playing passive. On Mirage, you're sometimes in the odd spots like window or in CT spawn, you get smoked off. A little bit harder on Train, so I like to see how that translates from Mirage to Train.
It's a unique challenge for me, at least, to try and figure out who I really favor, or what not even that, but what the reasonable expectations are, because it could be that it's open for both teams to win. But I think as much as we've seen Virtus.pro this season of ECS, we still, I feel like, have a relatively small sample size for where they could potentially be. There's like a range, some kind of like sideways barometer for the range of where they could be. I'm not sure where to put the little indicator at the moment, but maybe this will help us decide on that. They'll be starting on the CT side Virtus.pro. Snacks will be the grenade man. No defuse kit, a smoke, a HE, and a flashbang. Snacks is holding the HE as we speak. We've got some smokes being deployed, or a smoke, to the A bomb site. Flash from Cold as well. Omoli for stop sign, trying to draw Virtus.pro towards the A bomb site, and they'll start to back off on B, but they still have 3. Oh no, they're really buying this entirely. Snacks has made his way. He was holding a HE for B this entire time. He was the man to rotate. He's lost his position now towards the sidewalk. It might still have an effect. Indeed it will, but Brokey is still alive. Can the bomb get planted though?
That is a good question. They really need that bomb plant. Brokey won't get punished if he goes to plant now, and he goes for it. Colster gets nice cover up above, but he can only last for so long. Brokey ended PT50. That's the story that now has come to an end. And it falls on Nico to finish the quest. And the quest will be unfinished. No reward will be collected.
The quest played yesterday in North America, and this is Europe.
Indeed. But we do have the bomb plant at least for FaZe, so they can go for that second round bye. I don't know how good it is on this map if the CTs play aggressive on the choke points with the MP9s and stuff. So I'm still curious to see.
Can be pretty good, but teams on the T side have been pretty good as well on flushing out like ladder room a lot of times and close T middle. Those are like the two most common aggressive plays towards the outside, especially ladder room. We've seen almost a CT ladder room every single round the other day, and so the teams, they've been nading, they've been Molotoving.
So they've got themselves 3 MP9s and M4 and a some decent amount of nades too. Snacks will go up close in the round halls to see what he can find. He's going to get a good time. He falls back into a favorable peak. And he does get traded out. It's often surprising how strong the T's are in this round. They have only 2 smokes now. No more utility. I love my start with the scout there. Ready with a no scope should it be required. 1 smoke left now for FaZe. And that's it.
Brokey's footstep will be heard deep, I'm sure. Mihu knows he has a job to do, but how much of one? He doesn't know what else is behind there. He has a flash, that's about it. No one has an angle to flash for him. He'll have to hold the off angle, and he will, and he'll win the duel with Brokey. In the meantime, well, that's a big weapon lost. A Krieg dropped on Ivy, maybe looking for the flank, and the left of a Galil, a Krieg, and a Scout to make a play into the B box like Snatchy up top, only good for one, but Veggie with the FAMAS, not even a gold one, just a normal FAMAS will get the last 2 kills. Rumor has it, the gold FAMAS does +5 damage, but I don't know if it's true.
So that smoke we saw in the Ivy yesterday, I said, because I saw Smooya toss it, thinking it was a mistake, but so far in all the games I've seen on this map, these teams have been tossing that exact same lurk smoke now. So I'm wondering if that's the new, most common like meta smoke that we're going to kind of toss in Ivy now. Because it does allow you to lurk out pretty far and in a safe spot.
Well, 2-man push here on Brown this time. Mostly Glocks. Push that ladder in as well. VHR, that's a bit aggressive. Just looking to shut down everything. And it's just Brokey left. If you could get another headshot out of this, that would be massive. Stepping will be hurt by Snacks, who doesn't want to really push things too far. He's only got 57 HP, he will put him in 2 shots, but the 3-0 is acquired. And FaZe will get their first full buy in action. And it's an interesting spot. I mean, Snatchy definitely needs to get the AWP out. And there we go. How much staying power do VP have in terms of momentum on the CT side? It is a very hard to predict game. Very hard.
It is, isn't it? It's interesting in that respect.
Yeah.
Nico trying to catch the CTs, making their way to ladder room. Doesn't quite finish off the job though. Snacks left with 15 HP, so FaZe have to consider the ladder room compromised. It's a right click from Cold Zero. I like the running right click release on the race from T-Spawn. Nico lining up a top flash, I think. There it is. Beautiful. Not sure if that was a flash or I guess he just got the assist from the damage earlier on and probably did flash him as well. That's an unorthodox angle to deal with the Ivy position. Ready for a smoke. Molotov on the outside. Great response from PHR, was ready with the smoke grenade. Cheeky play from FaZe, but they can't really take the ladder, although they might hear that connection. But PHR still here, still alive. Just like they sing in Portal.
So 30 seconds to get the bomb planted. It's not even being collected. Is someone gonna get the bomb?
I don't know.
Alright, well, okay, someone's gonna pick up the bomb now. Oh no, maybe not. Bomb's still on the ground. Okay, looks like Cold Zero is running around to pick it up. But they still need to get the bomb planted. They have very limited time to actually make it happen. Cold Zero will be running, gun out. He's gonna just about make it. 4 seconds to spare.
Just curious why VP's trying to make these info moves with like 20 seconds left. Like, why are you peeking into long-range angles? Just like make them come to bomb side at that point. It's happened all T side on Mirage.
Yeah, it's especially with FaZe. You know, if FaZe are trying to run that time down. If you want to make it really difficult for them, like they make them really have to search for you. And FaZe just get by the skin of their teeth in this one. And there we go, first T round is won. How many more are to follow though? I really feel like I don't know what to expect yet from the CT side of Virtus.pro. But I suppose we're about to find out, one way or another.
Yeah.
Let's get the second ult.
Here is the rough start for Virtus.pro. The sandpaper rises and grates against the skin. MP9 for P. I mean, the buy looks reasonable, but it could get more uncomfortable unless they win this one with numbers alive. There will be a focus towards A from Virtus.pro. Maybe they will Send a CT in there. PHR will use his utility. Surely he wants to get close into main. Seems he will go to the ladder room instead. Had the incendiary in there earlier on. He will have an off angle. There's so many different angles to be concerned with to check when you move into T connector as a T. Always got to be concerned over an eventual peak from the CT side. Minutes on the clock now. And it seems Virtus.pro are trying to thwart the timings and intentions of FaZe. FaZe probably want to achieve a certain level of map control or presence at a time, but it seems Virtus.pro want to combat that, at least around T connector.
About 40 seconds to go. I feel like I've called the timeout a lot in this series. So this could be a better punish from VP. Again, FaZe running the clock down. The bomb is on the dumpster right now. It's going to be a 10-second bomb, most likely, if they're able to get there in time. Now they make their way forwards, and cheap punish on the reload. Good spacing there from FaZe to achieve that. Mihu around the smoke here, just sitting in and waiting for his timing. So Golofmeister is very suspicious. Mihu goes through this. Oh, okay, well that's the round, I think, because the bomb's down on the ground with 8 seconds remaining. It cannot be planted. The round has been won. And if you look at the positioning that FaZe have, if they had some more time here, they would get an after plant. So, for a post plant scenario.
Probably the cons of trying to go really slow. I guess the object is to bait nades, find information, really do bait those smokes, Molotovs. So, well, when they do take bomb sites, it's pretty much just aim duels at that point and off angles. As you said, Dan, if they only had himself 10 seconds to get from T-Con up to the, the bomb site to plant, so it's going to be a rough time if they lose a bomb like that.
One thing they're doing too, though, with the slow pace is they're conditioning VP not to throw the nades early, which does allow FaZe to have a fast rush timings, like outside or inner, whereby they won't be faced with Molotovs or so on and so forth. What a great pick, what a find here from Snatchy, and his pick just keep going, and he keeps re-peeking it, of course. It is Snatchy.
Of course.
Well, you feel confident. The ego is there, especially with the bomb at his feet. I think the bomb encouraged him. I think he would have been fine, but then you could see he kind of like, oh, the bomb is right in front of me. This is like a dinner invitation. He's just trying to serve all the different players. And it's only Brokey left to serve in the ladder area. FaZe had some good chances to break Virtus.pro here, but you do wonder now. Look at the lack of money. Barely got enough for a haircut at this point.
What kind of haircuts you getting?
Only the finest haircuts, of course.
You don't cut your own hair?
No.
You should.
I tried that once. It didn't go very well.
Gotta practice.
No.
It's like a flashbang. You gotta practice it a couple times. An empty server. Make sure you got the lineups down. You just have to have the lineups right, man.
But you're asking too much of me. Steaming vegetables, cutting my own hair. Who do you think I am?
You're James Bardoff, the great.
FaZe have been broken, and they are 1-5 on the T side of the train. In the last map, this is not a good situation to be in. There was a chance to have a ruinous effect on the money of Virtus.pro, but now things may have changed. Deagles are on deck for FaZe. They'll try to upright Virtus.pro's ship here in this eco round. It's half-buy round, if you can even call it that. Seen some slow rounds from FaZe Clan. They'll have to try and exhaust some utility, make it expensive for Virtus.pro. Play the long game in that respect. And then they choose their time to strike. Now, we've seen some players, some T sides above B, they'll put smoke in connector and then the smoke the other side of that connector train, if you will, to allow them some channels. Because you expect the CT side to play the range in this situation. So if you can smoke those positions off, perhaps you have a better chance of planting the bomb. And those are those exact smokes I was talking about. But it seems Veggie will move forward to support his teammates, so he's not there in isolation. The spray is long and laboured, but only yields 1 kill.
More players here, though. They don't check the stats. Why would you? Second player on the bomb train. And FaZe are the bomb down, but only for a kill. I mean, that's okay. 1 plant, 1 kill, not bad. The money's not really outrageous yet for VP, so it's not the end of the universe. 6-1. VP looking pretty good right now. I mean, if this keeps going, it's one of those things where, you know, it's eventually something like, okay, well, FaZe keep hurting the economy, but they're not actually winning the rounds, and now it's 7-1. Now it starts to get to the territory of, well, if VP just win a couple more rounds, they're in such a huge advantage, and it might be too great for FaZe to recover. We'll have to find out. They've got 4 creeks in the north. Rain looking to get control of T-Con. Looks like a default here for FaZe. We'll have 2 players working Ivy, 2 players, or at least 1 working brown holes towards the inner bomb sites. And you can see the VP are now more favored according to Nickel, which does make sense. Kind of good, and with Snatchy continuing to hit shots such as that, that's a great pick. You know, they're running a default, you go for a peek, it's a 1v1 on the extremity, you get the kill. It's a huge advantage. And that's a nice response.
1 minute on the clock for FaZe Clan. They still have held on to a lot of utility, but they've barely held on to their HP. Nico 12, Broken 26, Rain less than 50. 3 smokes remain, 1 Molotov for FaZe. They're creeping, they've cut noise. What is Nico planning to do? He's got a smoke in the hole. Is he just going to walk out? There's got to be a gap somewhere for Virtus.pro. They have an inkling of what they like to do when there's only 4 players left. Well, he's made his way down towards the B bomb site. The Snacks has a superior angle, and Nico will be eliminated. No one deep enough to help him. Footsteps will be heard by the ladder player PHR. I think he's made his way up already. So it'll be an instant flank on his play into the B bomb site.
And it don't really have a way to stop Snacks. Great kills from him in this position, but again, they can't really overwhelm him or find a way to deal with him at this point. It's a nice trio of kills for the 7-1 for VP, and they are looking really good at this point. Again, we were at around 3 to 4 rounds. I wasn't really sure where this would be going, and it seems like they settled into a lot of comfort. The slow defaults FaZe are running continuously are not working. The thing about slow defaults is that you have to, like, one of the things they let you do is go fast later on at some point for free. That's kind of one of the points of it, is that the other team doesn't expect you to go fast in 1 or 2 rounds, and then you don't have to run into a bunch of nades.
Oh my god.
Snatchy just keeps going for these peaks,
the
unpunished.
This is the thing, you've got to let him be overly aggressive if he's going to get openings like that. So much information as well. Veggie going for all the frags. Everybody wants to be top of the scoreboard. There must be some kind of bonus today for Virtus.pro in whoever gets the most frags, because it is 3-4 deathmatch at some points. Feels like Cold Zero now, 1 versus 2. Still kept competitive, and this is dangerous. Let's not forget how Mirage ended. He is most certainly capable. Smoke towards Ivy, and he waits in a protected position. Looking for the 1v1s. How patient will Virtus.pro be?
I think they're really focused right now. They've been having so much success. I think that just gives them the confidence to be patient as opposed to being hasty, which we saw in the last map. The problems compounded once they started losing rounds. But here they've been having so much success. Now we see the patience from VP, making it as difficult as possible for Cold Zero. He's trying to use the time that he has at his disposal to try to work out where these 2 players are going to be before he goes for the plant. But eventually the time will force the hand of Cold, and he will have to go for the plant one way or another. And it will be the A bomb sites. He wants to check deep Ivy first. He's actually going to go around the back lines as well. He does just about have enough time to do this, so trying to get as much information as possible before he commits to the plant.
Ooh, out of the ladder position has Snacks come. He knows how little time is left. The HG. Beautiful.
Oh my god.
There we go. They can delay some to scour the ground for any upgrades. That's an important thing as well. When there's such little time left, you have to make sure you're defending the bomb sites and nothing else, when that can only be the priority for the T side. 8-1 in favor of in favor of Virtus.pro. FaZe Clan will get the bomb plant out of it, but Snatchy has been unstoppable now. He's had so many plays there. Even when they've thrown a Molotov up their FaZe, later on Snatchy has peaked and he has delivered. time and time again. So will they look for him to try and get an early peek perhaps at the start of the round? Or how else will they respond? Because he has continued to be a problem.
But
Well,
no, he's
here he is.
outside.
He's moved. It's pretty smart because, as you say, James, they'll either try to make a setup to deal with him and which they'll invest and waste time, or they'll go somewhere else and ignore him.
God.
Look, there he is.
There he is.
Falls Ivy. Very well played by Snatchy. Pick again, causing problems. But FaZe, an explosive entry to the B bomb site, has given them a chance here and a bomb plant to work from, but they don't have position on the B yard just yet. It's Snatchy just couldn't quite pull the trigger quickly enough there. So now things go and they become favorable for FaZe for their second round, but can they execute, can they finish it off?
Two versus three. Mihi may have to give this one up. There's some money for Virtus.pro, but as you can see, there isn't all the money in the world. Saving 2 rifles would have been perfect for them. PHR looking to take money away from his opponents, it seems, but again, Mihi's got 1150 in the bank and Veggie has 1300. And there is most certainly room for a comeback for FaZe Clan. They could get 7 rounds. They could keep it just to 1 round at half time. So Virtus.pro could have really done with holding on to 2 of the weapons there, but I'm sure they won't have too much issue buying in this round in particular. But after this, this is the chance for FaZe Clan. This is a chance to open that door. They'll get the Chinese abacus out, do the calculations phase in this timeout. Look at the opportunity gifted to them. Will we see more traditional aggression from Snatchy in the vacuum of this round? I'm sure his plays will partly dependent on his spawn, especially towards upper B. So you just don't know if he's going to be there, but if he is, they must be prepared for him, FaZe.
He has a good spawn to upper B, I think, here as well. So I hope that he does it again, just because it's been working so often. And if FaZe's adjustment is bad, then Snatchy just wins another round for his team or contributes significantly. So if we check Snatchy's position right now, I think he's got a fast spawn for... Yeah, so if he goes, he's got the closest spawn, yeah.
But is he going to do it?
Where's he going?
And 5 times, 4 or 5 times is a lot in a match of this caliber, getting picked off, so FaZe going to keep an eye on that, I think, for the rest of the game.
So they're really anticipating outside play, and they would not be mistaken, because here comes FaZe at a very fast timing. Nico close to the bomb train. He can easily get a plant. That's crazy, but he doesn't have the bomb. It's cold 0. Great defense coming in, though. The frags are all going the way of VP. There's nothing to speak of for FaZe. It's a massacre.
It's a safe situation. Olofmeister cannot try to defend this bomb. On the versus 4, he has to back away. Be like, okay, well, we tried, we failed. Can we look at Olof for a second?
What a sick read.
Okay, behind Olof there's a plank of wood. See that plank of wood that's up on the side?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure on Old Inferno, by the dark spot, opposite where the coffins are now, that same plank of wood was on Inferno, and you could slide up, you could jump and slide up that plank of wood. And on Old Inferno, you could get on top of it, and you could jump onto dark spot by sliding up this plank of wood. It wasn't easy to do, and no one pretty much ever did it, but it was possible.
But you did.
I did, of course I did. I got the plays, man. So if you had that heat and potty setup, you could elevate yourself, take out the guy in new box.
Heat and potty, wow.
And then dark spot. But here we are again. FaZe Clan with the 4 Kriegs, and Olofmeister on the AWP once more. Olofmeister on the sniper's been a common occurrence today. With the M4 will deliver, but Mihi will be lost with his elevated shenanigans.
Wow.
Veggie with the multi-frag again, just like last round through the smoke. This time without the smoke, he will still get 3, excuse me. Really important kills, impact frags for Virtus.pro. He has almost shut this round down, but Olofmeister looking for a creep, but Veggie says no, and now he's going to be hungry for that ace. He wants the stats, he wants the highlights, he wants the HLTV package, he wants the strobes, he wants the lens flare at the beginning of the package with that esports music. He wants that kind of, that Gigacon, that Norwegian music, and there it is. There's the ace for Veggie, all 5 kills. Video editors activate.
Veggie's been just popping off the last couple of rounds, really the big factor on stopping these outside picks.
He just cycled around the entire bomb site. The bomb site just killed 5 people. That's so weird, but also amazing. This is also a really good angle because you're so far away from the wall, and their left eye and your right eye is a really strong angle to hold, and so he gets a huge advantage against the AWPer. And yeah, just great execution. VP with these M4s, you know, Veggie and Mihu are like so dangerous. Obviously, Mihu hasn't really kicked off too much in this game, this map at least too much, but he also is very capable of what Veggie just did. And
I wonder if FaZe is kind of thinking, because actually it was the right call what they did last round, because a lot of times they've been tossing utility towards the Ivy, but this time they sent 3 people, just peeked it, a contact peek, and they did get the first kill. But then you got the Veggie factor, just acing and getting the 3 kills, kind of nullifying any good strat that FaZe kind of threw at them.
so FaZe better find a way to recover right now, right here, right now, otherwise they are going to get wrecked on that second half. Snatchy back at upper B once again. The sheer guesswork you have to do with regards to him is very frustrating. Okay.
Out they go, FaZe, into the train yard, but can they win the duels? They need to identify where Virtus.pro are playing in the first case. There's Veggie taken out, so maybe they can win around now. Snacks trying to stop the bomb from being planted, but that would expose him to a great many plays. He'll take out the defense of the bomb planter instead, or will try to. That won't work either. 3 versus 2 for FaZe now. Mihu's fired a few bullets. They know he was sandwiched, and he is being hunted. See the green now. He'll ring the bell, but there are stereo frags for FaZe Clan, and they will finally find a 3rd round in this T side of train. Can they make it to 5? That would be fantastic, all things considered. They could have a strong CT half as well.
I feel like one thing from FaZe I want to see, but we haven't seen at all, is an explosive team. They're not explosive really, in the ways that I'd like. They're such skilled players. And you know, I want to see some of that. I want to see them take some of the pages out of ATK's book. The way that ATK take positions explosively. I think if FaZe added that to their repertoire, I think that would add the extra dimension that they need to have a better T sides in general. But that's just my opinion. Okay, we'll get the B burst. Snatchy with the whip, and an opportunity arises for FaZe.
So rare miss. Rain stops exactly in the wrong place. PHR on the flank. Took a second before he decided to engage there. Wants to keep his teammates safe. Slow with his presence. As soon as Cold Zero turns away, PHR appears once more. Maybe there won't be 5 rounds in this half for FaZe, as they're in a 2 versus 4 at the moment. Brokey cutting off rotation from the A bomb site now. Maybe that speeds up Virtus.pro, as they know that Nico is the only person towards B, and he will fall as well as his teammate Brokey. And Virtus.pro make it to 11. Maybe it's their turn for revenge after FaZe's performance on Mirage. They've won each other's map picks, and as we head into the last round of the first half of Train, things are looking pretty bleak for FaZe Clan.
It's unfortunate for FaZe that round. They did have a successful inside take, but the ladder push from VP was a little too fast for FaZe and pretty much got caught off guard. Here we go again. VP sticking with 4 people outside. Very safe, easy strat to do. Especially since FaZe kind of changed the gears a little bit, going a little quicker.
Sandwich Molotov has been deployed. CTs love to stand there. You can see a Vanguard Sanji there a lot. But look at these deletions from Virtus.pro. They seem very ready for Train, at least on their CT side. Looking to close it out strongly with confidence to make a statement versus FaZe. So there is more work to be done. They've certainly put themselves in a good situation. 12-3 at halftime for Virtus.pro, a stonking half of Counter-Strike on Train. Can they close it out in the second half? We will find out in just a few minutes.
Start your path to pro. Begin your matchmaking experience with like-minded players. Climb the ranks, meet your teammates, and make it all the way to the top. Rise through the ranks to the FPL circuits and play alongside the best players in the world. And who knows, you might just be the next Zywoo. Begin your road to pro at FACEIT.com.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Will FaZe find their feet? Or will they get buried by the likes of Virtus.pro, never to be seen again?
What's your percentage, Dan?
100%.
100%? Oh no.
And Virtus.pro will go with the A take. We've even got a decoy on Snacks.
I think decoys are underrated, underutilized.
Decoys are underutilized. They are underrated.
Fake flash, fake AWP peek.
To mess with your sound, harder to hear footsteps if there's a decoy right next to your feet.
Put them on the bomb, make them explode.
There you go.
So when they're defusing, they die. But 5 of them there. It's a lot of damage.
Flashes into the B bomb site. Will Rain get peeked? Will Veggie have any idea? Rain misses the headshots. So many opportunities there. Those were big opportunities. And now we're in a really rough situation. 2 versus 5. Pistol retake with no kit to be seen. Maybe there's one on the floor somewhere. And we've got flanks as well. Snacks can raise the alarm. Don't peek connector. Does he go for the knife?
You have to.
He's considering it.
You have to.
Oh. There we go. Worth. Absolutely. When your teammates doesn't die for the knife, you're almost not doing it properly. The Bears knows.
Wait, but hold up for a second. You knifed Cold Zero. You don't want to make him mad. That's the thing. If you knife Cold Zero, he just starts dropping bombs now.
Yeah, but dropping them with what? What has he got to fight with?
It's true. It is 13-3.
There we go. Add one to the stat track.
So yeah, the decoys do 5 damage when they explode.
What?
The decoys.
5?
Yeah.
No
That's
way.
a lot of damage.
It's like 2 damage.
How do you know?
I just looked it up. Internets.
Okay.
I gotta test it because I don't believe it.
It's explode after 15
I
seconds.
had no idea how much damage they did. But anyway, Nico will be looking to do more with the headshots from this Deagle. He's made it doable for a brief time for versus 2 for FaZe Clan. Maybe there are weapons to be collected if anybody's close to Ivy, but currently they're not because Veggie's there with the bomb. But there are so many smokes around the Ivy position up at the moment. And as they go, who will benefit from the variant? Veggie's got the right angle. Olofmeister walking in and out of the crosshairs. Now Veggie starts to wonder where everybody is, and there's another headshot, this time from Olofmeister. Little jiggle and Snacks will fall as well. Now, how many rifles will be collected? 2 AK-47s. Not too shabby. Great effort from Nico towards Ivy.
Is that 5 damage with no armor?
I don't know.
It has to be with no armor. There's no way it's 5 damage with no armor.
This is half-assed research, Dan. We need the details, man.
Well, I don't have one right now.
He doesn't.
Give him yourself.
Wow, is that what it's come to now? Here are some facts from Dan, which aren't really facts, or are poorly researched.
Go get him
You want the real answers? Go and get them yourself.
I'm teaching you life skills.
Glad we had this chat.
Yeah, Diane's doing a service for everybody.
Dan's like those dodgy colleges in London, where people get visas to come into the country and then they kind of just shut down and don't really tell you anything. You learn nothing.
Yikes.
You wonder what you've done with the last 6 months.
Better than 5 years.
Be going for the B attack. They got all the nades here. Let's see if the defense will be good. They've got all the Pfizer in place. 1 for 1. That's but Brokey's doing a good enough job on the bomb side to cover. So 5th round for FaZe, and no bomb plant for Virtus.pro, which will mean that they need to save now. And FaZe, all because of Nico's Deagle shenanigans. They will be in a position to make a recovery. But what a recovery they need. Because VP, all they have to do is win 3 rounds, and they are through.
Only 3 though, but against FaZe, you never know. He gets flip a switch, became a World Star team, who knows?
What kind of switch?
A fragging switch, a brain switch.
Nice bounce down the ramp from Virtus.pro. Meat shields to try and plant the bomb. Will it be planted in time? Just about. PHSAR dies for the cause. They'll name a street after him, perhaps. The AK is there for a brief time. And now it's just Veggie. He picks up the AK. It's on a side plant, looking to do damage, looking to find 2. You might even... Well, let's see. Olofmeister spotted. Can he get a second one? He can. Quick reload. Trying to reposition, trying to get cover. Veggie's been dangerous this game. He's made it real expensive for FaZe Clan, and they can follow up on that in the rounds to come.
Yeah, that was epic. What an effort. He basically did everything that he possibly could with no Kevlar as well. I did not think he'd get that second kill, the aim punch and everything, but he managed to control it. This is really hard. Wow. Rain was basically looking at him the whole time too. It wasn't like Rain had to do like a 180 himself. So the fact that Veggie still gets that kill is impressive. 24 for 12. So really putting the home on FaZe, making it so that they will lose a lot if they lose this round. Rain makes it across the ladder room. VP. Got Snacks in the brown halls, he's past the smoke, so that's going to answer some of the questions. Brokey is close, around upper B though. But it seems like Virtus.pro want to burst on B again. It seems like they just want to win the rounds on B at this point. It's a pretty crazy defense. You got Olofmeister as well, the setup, 2 players on the upper position, the bait setup, and you know what, they're not even going to deal with Olofmeister, so this is a disaster for VP. James, you're on the back.
And I'm pressing the wrong button on my control panel. Sorry about that. So I was talking to everybody but the audience. Very interesting times. Well, there we go. We can finish off the round with a 7th round for FaZe. I was trying to say... Must have been screaming in your ear. Sorry, guys. I was trying to say that this comeback is moving pretty damn quickly. PDQ. Nice shots from Olofmeister. It's warmed up with the AWP. Cold Zero would have silenced him for repairing as well from the shadows. And Virtus.pro on Nico. FaZe have won 4 rounds in a row in a blink of an eye. And I feel like they may get to 10 rounds pretty quickly. It's such as the nature of Train. It can look bad on your T side, but if you get going on the CT side immediately, as FaZe more or less have, and things can turn quite differently thanks to the opening kills from Nico with that Desert Eagle. Hold 0 creeping. Veggie taken away.
Yeah, at this point it's just looking for some 1v. PHR might have been their best chance come and gone. So he gets these shots off, he's going to die. He won't die. And there's still 5 rounds until FaZe get to where VP are at, so it's a nice recovery so far, but so much more is required. But it's starting to feel better. They've got somewhat of a flow to them. The VP have not really been running defaults, so they've just been going into winner and just getting wrecked in some of their buy rounds. So we might start to see a more conventional style of play, maybe some Ivy takes, Ivy pressure, as well as outer bomb site focus through T-Con or ladder takes as well.
Right, more.
Go on.
Go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say more of a default Ivy for VP. They're gonna send 3 people towards where the bomb's still by T spawn, but it's okay. Then you try and get a pick. Then you have the AWP, Snatchy. So I like that VP slowing it down a little bit. They tried going really fast the last like 6 rounds, so this might pay off for VP, but they get smoked out again. Waste another 17 seconds. And now they just lull. There's Rain trying to find some info play here in the middle. Now he's in a good spot.
He is indeed. Most CTs won't go beyond that position. This has a good advantage for them, but going beyond this, of course, they're walking into angles which are commonly held by Ts, especially when no one's in main. False sense of security. Oh, Rain, though, thinks he has a timing, but he was a little slow on the trigger finger there, but he will just about survive. 12 HP, maybe looking at the radar or something. Doesn't look like he's looking at his screen, but regardless, the frag will be found. 30 seconds remain. Snacks has the bomb. Don't think it was seen.
Yeah, they misread the situation. FaZe was stacking towards B here, so they thought it was an AD play. But you know what? Doesn't matter if Colzir gets all the kills, secures the bomb. The backstab is coming. You got Veggie around the corner. He has been the MVP in this map, at least for VP, and he's going to secure the bomb once again for the team. And FaZe are locked in connector now, and it seems as though VP have a good understanding of this. And PHR just checked for the boost. They can't really get through this choke point. There is no real way that they can do it. They will fall back. They will save.
They will have to fall back. Their choices have been removed by Virtus.pro. That could have led to complete disaster, but they will hold on to what they have. They've got pretty good money for now, FaZe. That will quickly disappear once the next round begins. But indeed, Virtus.pro moves to 14. The margin for error gets smaller, significantly smaller for FaZe Clan, who have just won 5 rounds in a row, but things seem to be heading a little south now. There's a nice flick from Nico. Almost a 180 afterwards. I know his sense is low as well, so that's not an easy 180 to do. Let's see how their buy will look. Save some money there, picking up the AWP. Sees Mihu a little laggy there. Had to be a radar. There's nothing more annoying than getting shot while looking at radar.
That's why you don't ever look on radar. It'll never happen to you, James.
I have to know what's going on. Someone's got to look at the radar.
Let's calm it up. Talk what you're doing. Paint the picture for your teammate.
I'm Bob Ross with painting the picture. Not everybody else is.
That's all you need. Everyone can do that.
They can. They could.
They could, but they won't.
Never. Therefore, one must look at the radar. Minute 30 on the clock. 4 FaZe players waiting on aim. As we can see, there's a 3-man approach towards Ivy for Virtus.pro with the bomb in tow. Mihu keeping FaZe honest around T-Con. And Snacks above the ladder, maybe showing to present above B before Virtus.pro show their true intentions.
Yeah, Ivy was successful in the previous round, but that's when FaZe didn't have an intention on checking it, and they also had misread the round and they completely abandoned any presence towards it. This round is very different. Zero is there, trying to control the flow. It is hard to hold on to that position. You know, if the T's decide to really hammer it, you got to just kind of fall back keep your position secure as best you can. You can see coleZero gives the information to his team. He adjusts his position around it. Nice angle. VP will start to move towards camera as soon as that smoke goes away, and here it is. Nice with the first shot. Cover is there for him as well, so it's front one for VP here, breaking this position, not looking likely, and now they've all just, they're dead. They're just dead. Seems a bit of a struggle there.
That was really good by FaZe, especially coleZero in the Ivy. He got it, information, he slowed them down, and he didn't even peek after that initial info play. And it kept kind of VP always looking back there every once in a while, hesitating just a little bit, and then he backstabs as soon as his teammate starts taking shots from the bomb train outside. Really hard to do in these high-profile matches. Just being patient enough not to peek.
Scout Krieg. A pistol here and there. Okay, plenty of grenades into main. FaZe still have a chance to turn this around as close as Virtus.pro are. Seen things go south at 14 for a number of teams, a number of times. Some more infamous and notorious than others. Nico puts the smoke deep. Does Snatch think he has a chance to surprise a CT? So you can see Nico's checking the angle, but will he go deep enough? Not everybody does, but Snatch moves just the right time for Nico. Ladder is taken. 2 players waiting on B for FaZe Clan. Virtus.pro will try to plant the bomb. Then we'll see what can come after that. Olofmeister, I think he tagged Mihu as well, who makes his way. Oh, the elbow is seen. Brokey fights though, conceded his position. Gitshot runs wide for Mihu to peek. And that works out well for Virtus.pro, but the rest might not. Nico looking to tapping. Looking to tap, looking to burst. Snatchy's left with the scout spotted and swatted. FaZe make it to 10. They have had 9 players survive the last 2 rounds, which is pretty good. Good for the money, should it be required. If they take 1 more loss, they'll be fine. They won't want to. Virtus.pro are back on the buy now. We'll see if they can turn things around for themselves.
They need some of those explosive plays to work out a little bit better. They're not really finding too many advantages out of their defaults. And so, you know, getting some quick position could be the answer for that. And looks like they may try to get a pick here. Snatchy going deep. Gets a leg onto Rain. He's looking for all the fights, looking for the peek towards Ivy or green train. And he's going to be very cautious here. What can go wrong? But indeed, the fast play outside is proving fairly successful so far. The fights will go down. Veggie doing all the damage yet again. Finally eliminated as coleZero becomes the last man standing in the face. And he's got a bullet in the back of his face.
That's good nade work by VP towards the end of the Ivy area and green train. Just like dumping nades and Molotovs towards that area. It forced Olaf in a really awkward bad spot. Good little micro adjustment. Because, you know, when people kind of rush outside, they kind of pull back towards the camera, Hell, and green train. Very well thought out by VP.
FaZe need 5 from 5. They've got the money, as we mentioned before. Don't have any Kriegs anymore. Lock continues with the AWP. Snatchy with just running around with the AWP in the A bomb site. Normally you see a rifler here, but maybe Snatchy will be enough. He finishes Rain off with the P250. Moves some more. Doesn't see Nico though coming through the smoke. In the meantime, there's only 1 play towards B. Virtus.pro looking to run off this distraction. Surely it's an A play with Virtus.pro having Snatchy running with the AWP, but no. Believe it or not, it is the B bomb site, and now they've got a man advantage. They've got some post-plant positions. They've got fire all over the place, but Olofmeister will still deliver a frag.
Yeah, this is really scary. Only 1 smoke's just been deployed there, and it's oh, they actually had 2 smokes. They were able to kind of cut off the channels for quite some time. It's going to be difficult for FaZe to really gain some ground. They're going to have to wait these out, but they don't really have the time to do it. That's the dilemma that they have. Very well played by Virtus.pro in this round to come towards this a position as heavily advantageous as this, and Olofmeister's going to have a go of it. Take down 1, but can't account for every single position. Now it's a 1v1 though. coleZero doesn't have much time here. He's gonna have to hold, and there's no choice. I don't think there's time here now, and that's gonna be a wrap. 16-10. FaZe eliminated from this week, but Virtus.pro will move forwards to the finals.
These highlights, Dan, are brought to you by NVIDIA. Well, there's a 2-0. The Bears knows better than the rest of us. Virtus.pro continue to surprise, taking, sorry, 2-1, not 2-0. Taking 2 of the 3 maps. They won each other's picks, but Virtus.pro had such a good CT half that they were eventually able to close it out on that T half. Snatchy running into A with the AWP alone, selling essentially a fake, because who on earth would do something like that? Pulling FaZe out of position only to finish off the job on the B bomb site. Marvelous work from Virtus.pro.
Yeah, a lot of the slow rounds for FaZe didn't quite work out as they would have liked. They didn't find any kind of consistency from it. And again, it was partially due to the fact that Snatchy was playing those spawns, he was hitting his shots, and everybody else was kind of just playing tight and default, and it just worked out.
It worked.
Yeah, and here is the bracket. Virtus.pro make their way to the final for this week. They will play the winner of Tricked and Fnatic, who will be playing tomorrow. For FaZe, back to the drawing board, but their chances of making it to LANs, making it to Arlington, have come to a close for season number 8, unfortunately for them. But for Virtus.pro, they got one more chance. They need to win one more match. You saw the bracket, and they will seal their fate one way or another on Thursday. But that's going to bring the European show to a close. Before we go, though, there's the HyperX X Factor play of the game, and maybe it's that monstrous ace from Veggie.
I didn't feel too impactful though. I felt like there was a okay.
It was a nice play. It's a play of the game.
It's a nice play, yeah.
So I might say, Dan, it's the X Factor play of the game.
Some may say.
The HyperX X Factor play of the game, Dan. Say that.
No. But it was a beautiful series of kills. It's kind of crazy to see him just kind of doing the rounds in this way. He's picking up every single frag, running good timings, running good angles, being very precise and focused. And for me, this was a map of Counter-Strike and a series where I was very impressed by Veggie, ways I haven't been before. And if he's able to consistently deliver that, given that Mihu also can, but Mihu's a bit more of a wild card, a bit more volatile in his plays, that does give some more sturdiness, some more robustness to this lineup.
If you want to get an ace on the servers, maybe you can do so in the ECS Cups. Type ECS into your search bar in the FACEIT app or website, and you can find the organizer page and the associated cups. If you don't have a whole party, you can queue on your own or with half a party, and in the last half an hour of check-in, you'll be paired with other people who are also looking for maybe potential soulmates. We saw proposals and things from people on the Reddit or something along the lines of that.
Proposal.
I don't know.
There
Look
wasn't
at it on the
proposals,
internet.
asking girls
Look.
to the prom or something.
All right,
That's
whatever. It was romantic
very different,
stuff.
James.
Never mind. I don't know. Anyway, we've got North America coming up for you. A quick break and then some NA action here live from California.